students, I welcome you all to Analyst IAS. I am Ekta Sharma and today we are going to start a discussion on prelims related questions that were given in Analyst Weekly magazine. We all understand that prelims examination is one of the most crucial as well as the first step towards your goal of UPSC. During this examination, there is a lot of anxiety in students. Students are very nervous because the questions are objective and it is do or die situation for everyone. Now, in this scenario, we all must understand that the only mantra is for you to prepare well and do the questions as much as you can. You should keep repeating the questions. You should keep doing the prelims questions, the objective questions. Doing more and more questions before the examination gives you more confidence to attempt those questions in the examination hall. And with that approach, we at Analyst IAS have come up with this program. Now, without any further ado, let's start our discussion with the first question, and that is, the recent BRICS New Delhi declaration is related to which of the following? Now, this topic has been in news from quite some time. It is directly from the current affairs. You might have heard as well as read about this declaration. All you need to do is get your the horses of your mind going. You need to understand that the very first thing that you need to do is to eliminate the wrong options. So, in these three options, which of the options do you think are the wrong ones? Let's go through the options. The first one, Afghan terrorism and drug trafficking. Second one, non-usage of forces against the territorial integrity or political independence of any country. And the third one, conservation of environment. Now, these are the three options in front of you. Take some time. Give yourself some time, answer the question, and then we are going to see what the answer is. So basically, let's just start discussing these options. The first option, that is Afghan terrorism and drug trafficking. Yes, this was discussed during the declaration. So the first option is right. Yes, this was there. The second option, that is non-usage of force against the territorial integrity or political independence of any country. Yes, this option was also discussed, or this topic was also discussed during the declaration. So this is also right. However, the third point, that is conservation of environment. There were talks related to sustainable development, so on and so forth, but in specific, there was no talk related to conservation of environment. Therefore, this option is wrong. So, the options given below are A, 1 only, both 1 and 2, third is second only, and D, all of them. What according to you should be the answer? The answer is B, that is both 1 and 2. So, we can say that these two options are right, whereas this option is wrong. Now, moving on to the next question. The next question says, Climate Change 2022 Impacts Adaptation Vulnerability is published by. This is a very direct question. This is a very simple question. Give yourself 1 minute's time and you will understand the actual answer of this. Now, the answer in the options, you have been given various organizations. Let's see what are these organizations. The first one is United Nations Environment Program, the UNEP. Do you think this organization published this report? Or the second option, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. The third one being World Meteorological Organization, and fourth one being Worldwide Fund for Nature. Now, We all know that in these objective type questions, we follow the elimination process. The elimination process. Now, what is this elimination process? That you eliminate the first option that you feel is totally wrong. So, the very first option that you feel is totally wrong should be this one, the World Meteorological Organization. What does it has to do with the climate change? So, this is wrong. Now, moving on to the next one, that is Worldwide Fund for Nature. No, WWF was also not the organization that released this report, as well as the UNEP program, that too did not release the report. So the answer is IPCC, that is Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. Get the clue. Here we have climate change, and here also we have climate change. Simple. So the answer to this question is answer B, that is IPCC. Moving on to the next question. The next question is 92nd Amendment of the Indian Constitution is related to which of the following? 92nd Amendment is an important amendment. You must have read about this, must have heard about this in your current affairs. Lately, there were some news related to this amendment, or something related to this was there in the news. Now, let's go through the options and see what is the right option. The first option is constitutional status of cooperative societies. The second one, anti-defection law. Third one, addition of Bodo, Dogri, Maithili, Santhali languages to the 8th schedule of the Constitution. And the fourth one is lowering of voting age of election from 21 to 18. Now again, utilizing the elimination method, we will eliminate for the very first thing that we are going to do is to eliminate the fourth option, because see, the voting age of elections or voting for the election was reduced from 21 to 18 in 1988. That was through 61st Amendment Act of Indian Constitution. Alright, so this is not something that is very recent. It happened way back in 1988. It has not been, the 18 years of age for voting has been there in Indian Constitution or in Indian polity since 1988. So the first option that we are going to eliminate is the fourth one. Then we are going to move on to next option that you are going to eliminate about cooperative societies. There has not been any such news related to cooperative societies lately. So the first option is also wrong. Then there might be a little confusion between these two, the anti-defection law as well as the 8th schedule. The right answer between these two is this one. Option C is the right answer. That we can see that option C is the right answer. What is the option C? Option C is addition of Bodo, Dogri, Maithili, Santhali languages to the 8th schedule of the Indian Constitution. Now, what is the 8th schedule? Now, if you go through any current affairs that talks about this 8th schedule, now recently there was this news of Bhojpuri, that the state has been pushing Bhojpuri to be added in the 8th schedule, right? So, this 8th schedule has been in news quite a lot. So, whenever you come across a current affairs, a news that is related to the 8th schedule, it is important for you to go through this 8th schedule. What is 8th schedule? What are the various languages that have been added in the 8th schedule? So on and so forth. Right. Now, moving on to the next question. The next question says, which of the following is correct? Now, here I would like to draw your attention to a very small point, but very important nevertheless. This point is that during our examination, during our prelims examination, such statement based questions are very common. So we get statements and the question says mark either the correct option or the incorrect option. Now here Many a times I have heard and I have seen students committing mistake. The mistake that if the topic is something that we have read about recently, or if the topic is familiar to us, that is the statements here that are given. If, for example, in this case, I have read about this wet bulb temperature and the dry bulb temperature, then I will be very excited to see a question in my exam that is very familiar to me, right, that I have read about. So in that case, what I do is I tend to neglect this important keyword and I tend to directly jump on the statements, write or mark the options given below. Sorry. In that case, what happens is this word plays a key role. Sometimes it might be incorrect, sometimes it might be correct, right? So you need to understand which of these statements must be correct for us to write the right answer. So be very careful, students. These two words are very essential. Be very careful while you're reading the question. Now, without any further delay, let's just discuss the statements. The very first statement says wet bulb temperature is the lowest temperature to which air can be cooled by the evaporation of water into the air at a constant pressure. The second statement says humidity of the air is the difference between wet bulb and the dry bulb temperature. The third statement says the higher the difference between the wet bulb and dry bulb temperatures, the lower is the humidity. This is a question that has been directly asked from the science theoretical part. Now let's see what the answer is. The answer is answer D. Let's see what is this. Answer D says that all of the above statements are correct. Right, so all these statements, all the three statements, they are correct. You don't have any statement that you can eliminate as being incorrect. Moving on to the next question. Which of the following statements is incorrect? See, here we have the keyword is incorrect, not correct. Incorrect with respect to Office of Governor. The Office of Governor has been in news lately. Please go through our analyst weeklies to understand why this news has been, or what is the news behind this question. So the first statement is, according to Article 157 of the Indian Constitution, the governor is bound by the aid and advice of the Council of Ministers. The second one, Sarkaria Commission recommended that the governor should be an eminent person outside the state and a detached figure from the politics. And the third statement being, the governor shall hold office during the pleasure of the President according to Article 156 of the Indian Constitution. Read the statements, try to understand which statement is right, which statement is not, and then answer the question. Take 1 minute, pause the video, answer the question, and then we can discuss further. Now the answer to this question is answer A, the option A. Let's see. This says that only this statement is incorrect and all the other two statements are correct. Now what is wrong with this statement? Actually, Article 156 of the Indian Constitution, 157 of the Indian Constitution talks about the appointment qualifications. The qualifications of the governor, and not the fact that the governor, he or she, will be bound by the aid and advice of the Council of Ministers. Rest two statements about Sarkaria Commission and Article 157 are correct. Sorry, Article 156 are correct. Now moving on to the next question. Which of the following statements is correct? Bal Swaraj is an online tracking portal devised by National Commission for Protection of Child Rights for the welfare of children affected by COVID. The second statement is NCPCR, that is National Commission for Protection of Child Rights, is a statutory body established under the Protection of Child Rights 2005 under the Ministry of Women and Child Development. And the third statement says, National Commission for Women is a constitutional body working under the aegis of Ministry of Women and Child Development. Read the statements. This has been in news lately. The Bal Swaraj portal has been in news lately, and that is why this question has been asked. Go through the option, read the statements over and over again, and try to answer the question. The answer to this question is answer C. That is, option C says both 1 and 2 are the correct statement. Again, important word here is, the key word here is correct. So which of these two statements are correct? The first one and the second one. Now, why is the third statement wrong? Because the National Commission for Women is not a constitutional body. It is a statutory body. Okay, it is not a constitutional body at all. Moving on to the next question. Consider the following statements about UN Human Rights Council. It is an intergovernmental body having the ability to discuss all the thematic human rights issues and situations. Second statement, it investigates breaches of human rights in UN member states. And third statement, it is headquartered in Hague, Netherlands. Which of the statements do you think is or are correct? Again, take a pause, wait for some time, think about the statements, because this is a direct question. There is no analysis included in this. This is just a direct question from the current affairs. Take some time, answer the question, then we are going to discuss the answer. So, the answer to this question is answer A, that is both 1 and 2. Both first and second statements are correct. Why is this statement wrong? Because this UNHRC is it is headquartered in Geneva, Switzerland. The headquarters of this organization are located in Geneva, Switzerland. Moving on to the next question. The next question says, with reference to blockchain technology, consider the following statements. The blockchain technology has been in news from quite some time. You must have read about the ledger technology, the blockchain technology it is based on, so on and so forth. Now, recall all the things that you have read about blockchain technology and let's discuss. The first statement says, it is public ledger that everyone can inspect but which no single user can control. The second statement, the structure and design of the blockchain is such that all the data in it are about cryptocurrency only. And the third statement says, applications that depend on basic features of blockchain can be developed without anybody's permission. Now we are supposed to pick the correct options among the following ones. Now go through the options, read the statements, see which of them is correct. The correct answer is answer D, that is 1 and 3 statements are correct. And the second statement, the structure and design of blockchain technology is such that all the data in it are about cryptocurrency only, is wrong. So the ledger, public ledger, it also contains data related to something else other than the blockchain technology. Moving on to the next question. The next question says, which of the following countries shares borders with Ukraine? The Ukraine crisis is too much in news. It's like something which every time you open the news channel, every time you open your newspapers or even your current affairs magazine, Ukraine will be the burning topic. So you must have seen Ukraine's map in this process. You must remember which are the various countries that share their borders with Ukraine. Now, before that, before answering the question, let's just look at the various options given here. The first option is Poland, Slovakia, Belarus, Romania, Hungary, and Bulgaria. What do you think should be the answer? What is the right combination of answers here? To understand that, let's go through the map of Ukraine. Now here you can see that Ukraine, this whole red colored border is the border of Ukraine, and which are the countries that it shares with? The first one is Romania, Hungary, Slovakia, then Belarus, Russia. Now let's go back to our question and see which of these countries were there on the map. Poland was there, Slovakia was there, Belarus was there, Romania was there, Hungary was there, but which country was not there? It was Bulgaria. So which is the right answer? The answer is C. The answer is C, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but not the sixth one. Moving on to the next question, and that is, consider the following statements about Information and Technology Act 2000. Now, IT Act is more and more being in news because of the increasing use of internet by people. Now, internet has become something that we just cannot live with. Can you live without Instagram? Can you live without WhatsApp? In fact, your classes in today's world, they have also come online. So, internet, and similarly based on that, the Information Technology Act have been in news for quite some time now. They have become important, and thus has become important to control, to regulate the overall regime, right? So this act, the Information and Technology Act 2000, it remains relevant for all of us to read. So let's see what are the various statements related to this. The first statement says Section 69A of IT Act allows the government to block websites. Then second statement says Section 66A was struck down by the Supreme Court in Shreya Singhal versus Union of India case in 2014. Now, which of these statements is incorrect? The keyword is incorrect. Let's see what is the answer. The answer is D. That is none of the above. So both these statements are correct. None of the statement is incorrect. Moving on to the next question. It says, consider the following statements about green hydrogen. The first statement is the green hydrogen policy aims at boosting the domestic production of green hydrogen to 5 million tons by 2050. The second statement says that green hydrogen or green ammonia is defined as hydrogen or ammonia produced by electrolysis. This is an important process that you must read about. Electrolysis of water using renewable energy. The third statement says that hydrogen ammonia produced from biomass is also called green hydrogen or ammonia. Now, which of these statements is correct? The keyword is correct. You have to find the correct statements of these. Take some time, give yourself a break, think about it, think about the recent policy introduced by the government on green hydrogen, green ammonia, and then answer the question. Now, among these statements, the very first statement is a little fishy. Why? Because this time duration given in the first statement, it should be, instead of 2050, it should be 2030. Right? Now, let's see what the answer is. The answer is B, that is second and third. These two statements are correct. As I said, the first statement is wrong because here it says 2030, not 2050. Rest, the two of the statements are correct. Now, let's move on to the next question. The next question says, which of the following statements is incorrect? Now the keyword is incorrect. Look out for the incorrect statements. Deuche-Pachami coal block is the second largest coal block in the world and the largest in India. The second statement says the thick basalt layers of the coal block makes the mining of coal difficult. And the third statement, the coal block is situated in the state of Jharkhand. Now you have to choose the correct option. That is, you have to point out which of these statements is incorrect. Take your time, answer the question, then we are going to discuss the answer. Now the answer to this question is answer B. That is, only the third statement is incorrect. That is to say, the coal block, this Deuche-Pachami coal block is situated not in the state of Jharkhand but in the state of West Bengal. Okay, so this statement was incorrect. So this was all from Analyst Weekly Part 1. Now you have the answers to all the questions that were given on almost the last page of the Analyst Weekly. For more such questions, please follow Analyst Weekly, and for more answers to all those questions, please follow the YouTube channel of Analyst. Thank you so much. Keep studying. All the best.